boy. Fuck that guy.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't like that guy.
Yeah, but the gore is really minimal, especially on the living cast. All of the real violence is directed toward the zombies.
Yeah, and that's really surprising because like it feels like that film should be like chock full of gore, like especially with all the nudity that it has. And
Yeah,
it's my real the only complaint I have about it is.
But it's such a '80s punk movie that
I'm gonna talk about it in a little bit. So go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead, Randy.
Number 12 is my second favorite Cronenberg film and the second best remake of all time, The Fly.
awesome movie.
I think it was the first film that Mel Brooks' production company churned out, Brooks Film.
I had no idea about that.
I didn't know about that shit.
I want to say that it was. Jeff Goldblum, perfectly cast as the weird neurotic mad scientist type, and he basically regurgitated that role time and time again after that. One of the few times that Gina Davis was ever really effective
Right.
in a film outside of Beetlejuice, really.
But the effects alone.
Oh, the effects are
just
fucking
amazing.
ridiculous.
I think there's really only one other movie that can really top the effects.
The slow deterioration of Brundlefly is both tragic and amazing and wonderful.
And disgusting at the same time. And the whole thing where he's keeping his humanity by keeping his body parts in the medicine cabinet, and you see his fucking dick just sitting in a jar and just shit like that.
Dick in a jar.
Dick in a jar. It's a really sad film. It kind of chokes me up once in a while when I watch it.
Yeah, because I want to be like an arm wrestler, but when I saw that scene, I was like, no, I'm done. My dream's over. That's not happening to me.
A lot of my top films are tales of obsession.
I was just about to say this has a great story about obsession.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite plot devices. Is just being obsessed with something and letting your life totally be destroyed by it, the idea of it or whatever. And the way that Cronenberg took a film from the 50s that was pretty hammy and B-level and
Turned it into something horrifying.
Yeah, a great film, but he made it something absolutely horrifying, and the sexuality of it is the sexual overtones of all of his films in this era are pretty serious, and this one is really drenched with them.
Yeah, that's it, right?
The transformation pods are modeled after the engine of his motorcycle.
All right, so mine is Day of the Dead 1985, which we can talk about the fucking characters, and Randy's just going to be upset. But
Right, but the movie itself is just, like you said, we agreed, it's a 10.
It's a 10.
It's fucking awesome.
I guess I know why I like it so much better than Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is 1978, and the fucking blood looks fake.
The blue zombies is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah,
A lot of the zombies in Day of the Dead are blue.
They're more grayish and decayed looking, in my opinion. But the ones in
Because it's been
Dawn,
going on for a lot longer.
right? But the ones in Dawn just look blue.
Well, freshly dead people do look blue.
Not that blue.
You've seen a lot of freshly dead people.
I've seen enough.
Well, if you die and you fall in blue paint, you look exactly
Right.
I think out of all the settings in all of the Dead trilogy, well, I'm just gonna call it trilogy. That's the best setting.
Yeah.
It's so fucking.
It's the most claustrophobic.
Yeah, say the
That's what I was gonna
claustrophobic
say, yeah.
army bunker.
Yeah, I just love it. And then I love that they have access to a helicopter to look for civilization and see if shit's clear.
Right.
And then Randy doesn't like the pilot of it, the
No,
Jamaican guy.
He's an annoying asshole.
It's because he's religious.
Yep.
It's not even just that. He's just I don't know.
Anyways, that's my Day of the Dead, and we've talked about it before. So go ahead, Scott.
My number 12 is Creepshow, the best horror anthology out there. It's,
Out there.
Out there.
Out there.
If you went looking in there, you're not going to find it.
Nope, it's out there. It's right there. But yep, my favorite segment of it is the something to tide you over, like I was talking earlier, just because of the performance from Leslie Nielsen and fucking Ted Danson. I like that revenge tale. But
That segment had the best music.
yeah, the music
Best
was great
score
too.
from any of the segments, and
None of the segments in this anthology are bad.
No.
Even the
Jordy
Jordy Verrill
Verrill
one,
is-
I didn't like at first, but I enjoy it more and more each time I watch it. It's not great, but it's still entertaining.
And that's what ruins an anthology movie sometimes, is just one bad segment.
Yeah.
And VHS has one good segment each. I didn't see Viral, but the first
Viral's bad.
Yeah, they have one good redeeming fucking segment, but the other ones are shitty. But
I like most of the segments from the first one.
yeah, they're not bad. But 2 was the only one was that first
the
person.
religious cult one.
Yeah, that was the only good one.
Like,
For me, anyways.
I liked both of those, but yeah, there are like the duds in the stories there. But yeah, this one I didn't have a dud. Even the little wraparound framing segment, whatever you want to call it, was entertaining.
Tom Atkins.
Exactly, it's Tom Atkins.
And Stephen King's kid.
Who is now
Joe Hill.
Famous author.
Yep. In his own right.
All right, Randy.
11 is Dawn of the Dead. Prefer the theatrical cut to any...
Are you tired?
No.
Oh, you just seem like you want to lay down. Dude! That sounded like it broke.
It's it's my second favorite Romero film. A lot of people give me shit about what I prefer over top of it, but it's the quintessential like epic zombie film. A lot of people say the Day of the Dead is, but
no, it's always Dawn. I don't know what you're talking about. Everyone always references
I'll
Dawn.
say Day's very rarely mentioned, at least in the most of the horror groups I know of.
It has the most pertinent social commentary out of all of them between Night and Dawn. And
that I can definitely agree with.
I don't know. It has like the best score and the best atmosphere.
Well, really, Day of the Dead is not a lot of social commentary whatsoever.
It doesn't. It says a lot about like the '80s Reagan era.
It says a lot about
American mentality,
like the control and power, I guess, and like you could fucking correlate that with politics, I guess,
and military over science and stuff like that.
Absolutely, okay.
But like Dawn of the Dead is all about like humanity's priorities and like what we've become as a species and how we're like basically a fucking
like input the mall. I mean, we're just like fucking
we're
consumers,
consumer automatons.
Yep,
shuffling about. I like the idea of like it still shows man versus man, and it shows like the nature of man with the roaming motorcycle gang and stuff, and the slow deterioration of people. Like the lone nudity scene in that film,
Franny.
Yeah, it's like the least sexual and appealing nudity scene that I can think of. It's just it's uncomfortable to watch.
It's like fucking walking in on Scott getting out of the shower.
Like her and Steven sitting there in bed, like apart from one another, just staring off. Like who knows what they're thinking about? Just miserable,
Yeah.
It's misery. It's really. It's a film that's like full of misery. They get more and more detached from everything as the film goes on, and they bring more stupid shit into their little apartment and try to make it nicer, and fucking they should have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the psychology of the movie, I actually do want to like bump it up on my list. I'd never really thought about it as like with the social commentary, and
that's what really does it for me. And Night and Day both really make a lot of good points and have a lot to say. Night has a lot to say about classism and racial tension, and I love the lampooning of Reagan era America that Day of the Dead has. It's like fucking Rambo and gung-ho military USA, all that. It exposes all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, my next one, which is 11, is Psycho 2.
Nice. I plan on watching that.
I don't think that didn't make anyone's list, did it?
No, it's on mine.
Yeah,
okay.
It made Randy's.
Okay.
Yeah, I had it at 31.
I just haven't seen it yet.
I think the performance in this one for Anthony Perkins is the best performance he's ever had on screen. Like, I think it's better than the first. It's better than the first one. Like,
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would say so.
This is what fucking 23 years later, 1960 and 23 years
83.
later. Yeah. So he was known for Norman Bates for that long.
Mm-hmm.
So he's had time to evolve the character once he did it again. And I think this one is like 3 is he's a little bit silly and
it hams it up.
Yeah, he hams it up. But this one is still, it's like more vicious, but he's innocent at the same time, pretty much. But he's like trying to hold his shit together, which you don't see that in the first one. He's just like batshit crazy.
Well, it does. It paints him very sympathetically because someone's fucking with him the whole time.
Exactly, and it's that fucking one guy. Dennis Franz.
Yeah.
I've been told I look like an old Dennis Franz.
You don't look like Dennis Franz.
Well, it showed his ass in my PD Blue or something like that, and that was like a big headline one time.
Yeah.
But anyways, like, yeah, he's a fucker. Like, and that's just fuck, and he's like fighting the urge and shit, and that's what I like about the whole movie. It's just him like fighting the urge to not fucking go crazy again. And slowly he's like remembering shit and then realizing this is not going to be easy to fucking hold this shit in.
And the twist at the end is really,
the
really
fucking
great.
The real mother and then the fucking shovel. It's like so fucking brutal. He doesn't kill. He kills one person in that movie.
I only remember him killing the woman at the end.
Yeah.
his mother.
Okay. Yeah. So he didn't kill anyone except like at the end. The whole time you're like he's trying to stop the urge, and then at the end he just gives in.
Yeah, I think all of the other murders up to that point were Marion Crane's sister or something.
I just love it. It's just brilliant. Like 23 years later, that they pick up on that character, and it just takes off again. I'm editing that. That's stupid.
Well, the guy that directed it, Richard Franklin, he did something else really good right around that time that I can't think of. Oh yeah, so Richard Franklin, famous Australian horror director. Guy who brought us like the Australian version of Carrie Patrick, and he did Road Games, the little cat and mouse thing with Jamie Lee Curtis and Stacy Keach. Both of those are good if you haven't seen them.
And he did fucking Cloak and Dagger with what's that dude's name? Dabney Coleman. That's right.
The guy that looks kind of like Tom Selleck.
Yeah, and Henry Thomas is a kid actor again right after E.T. Or it might have been like the same year as E.T. I don't remember. But what movie are we talking about right now?
Psycho 2.
Oh, Psycho 2. Oh, yeah.
That's why I've been quiet, because I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, yeah, you have to watch this. And if you're listening right now, watch fucking Psycho 2. Watch all of them.
Yeah, all of them are good. Even the one that they made for like HBO or whatever.
Watch it. Go ahead, Scott.
Yep, my number 11 has been talked about, Day of the Dead. The only thing I'll bring up that, Ken and I agree on a lot of this, but the one thing I want to bring up that really didn't get mentioned is just the balls out ending. Like, the balls out last 20 minutes or so. With just
I was going to say the
being
ending is
lowered
very
down.
fluffy, bro.
Rivers of gore.
Yeah, so just the zombies being lowered down into the army base, and then just that last 20 minutes is just fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's cemented his legacy, in my opinion. It was like, that was at theaters, too. I don't know how much was cut.
Right, I was at.
It played unrated.
Did it really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Dude, yeah, I couldn't imagine like being like old enough to go in a theater and watch that and appreciate that ending.
Right,
like, that's fucking awesome. Well, I mean that happened with that one movie. It's like Office Space and Battle Royale.
Belko Experiment.
Belko Experiment.
Yeah. So I saw that in the theater last year, and I was like, I cannot believe this is on screen.
Right, because that was a very mean-spirited film too.
Yeah, it was very gory. So like seeing Day of the Dead in '85 in the theater, like you said, the last 20 minutes until the fluff ending or whatever.
Yeah.
I would have been fucking. My mind would have been blown. That would have been my favorite movie of all time.
Do you think it would be as good if Romero would have gotten the budget that he wanted and made like
a 3-hour?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what he would have done with it.
Yeah.
What more do you need to input?
The time limit that it got, I think it's perfect. I think if it went any further, I think it might have got drug out a little too much, unless there was something that he had planned that he just did not even.
Well, there had to have been
on.
something written down in the script or whatever, and it was like, how are we going to do this on this budget?
Yeah.
So I'd like to know what it was that he actually wanted to do.
I've read that a lot of the ideas that he wound up putting into Land of the Dead were things that he wanted to do in Day of the Dead. But that,
you mentioned that on the Romero retrospective. All right, go ahead.
Our top 10 time.
Top 10.
Oh shit.
So my number 10 is my favorite Roger Corman film and favorite Vincent Price film.
I know what this is.
Mask of the Red Death.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like really trippy and visually stimulating, and it's mean. It's a mean fucking movie for when it came out.
I liked it when we covered it. It's just the Gothic era.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, and I love that Gothic
I'm
era.
just not into it.
Big sucker for Gothic horror. A lot of cool casting in this one. The weird, creepy guy from Clockwork Orange whose wife gets raped. I can never remember. Like Patrick McGee, I think his name is, or something.
Yeah, I think it was
something like that. He plays Prince Prospero's buddy, and like the dude that's like instigating a lot of the cruelty against a lot of people who are at the party, and his death is pretty great, getting burned alive in the fucking.
All right, so yeah, my battery just died on the recorder. But anyways, wasn't that the guy that ordered the death of the little midget guy too?
Yeah,
is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, he was the one that was like assaulting the midget guy's girlfriend.
Yeah, he was like more.
Well, the guy's girlfriend kicks his drink over, and he like backhands her and knocks her over. But then, as a show of Prospero's disregard for everyone and everything, he like throws his glass of wine